You know, I just realized it's been a while since we've hit a video that we already know something about, and that is, of course, strings. Yes, we've already discussed strings in this course, and we've encountered them numerous times, but let's go a little further than we have gone before with strings in this video, and we'll even be doing more with them in the next video. But first, let's just kind of remind ourselves of some basics here. I'm going to say my string is equal to hello, this is a string. Notice that I can use the double quotes, as we've discussed, or single quotes to make the string. And that gets really, really important when you have a single quote or double quote that you want to use inside of the string. For instance, let's do the single quote because we are giving a quote, comma, this is a quote. You get the idea. Notice we need to use double quotes inside the string, so we go ahead and we use the single quote approach so that we can use the double quotes inside of the string. Now, what if you had both that were going to be in your string? Oh boy. Well, no problem. Don't panic. That's when we can use the escape character, which is the backslash on the keyboard. Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and say quotes or, single or double doesn't matter because I'm going to escape the problematic repeated character. This is a, and then I'm going to escape and say quote, and then escape, and then the quote again. And this is a quote dash. We also have single quotes. I'm getting too wordy here. We also have its. Notice, so we had the single quote in here. That's why we had to use quotes on the outside of this string. But then we had double quotes on the inside. So that's why we used the escape character. So anyways, you get it. Now I'll close the whole thing up with the double quote and no syntax error. It works just fine. We can, as you saw, vary what we're using on the outside here based on what we might be using on the inside. But don't forget, you can always just use the escape character that says, hey, we are not closing the quotes up right here. We're just using quotes inside of our string. Here's another trick that you can do with strings. It's called a multi-line string. You ready for this? So let's create my string 4, and we are going to say, yeah, look at that, double quote, double quote, double quote. We do either of the styles 3 times. This is a multi, and then line, multi-line string. It goes over many lines. And then how do we close it? Let me actually add another line. This is yet another line of text. And when we're ready to close it, you got it, triple single quotes, because I picked the single quote to create the multi-line string. Look at that. And yeah, if you print it, it prints just like you entered it. So let's print it, and there is your multi-line string going over many lines. All right. Well, I've got one last thing at this stage that I want to impress upon you when it comes to working with strings. You could always concatenate them. So look up top. I have my string and my string 2. I could say new underscore string equals my underscore string plus my underscore string underscore 2. So look at that. That's going to work. print new underscore string. And yes, it takes what was this string and adds it to this string. It is opening up possibilities for us here, isn't it? I mean, my gosh, if we could add these two things together, and by the way, there's even a more direct way to do that. You could give the Python code the two strings. Watch this. This is an example of adding two strings. Yeah, so there's kind of an automatic concatenation that you can do. Print new underscore string, and notice it just takes those two strings and adds them together. Okay, but just think about this. We're able to like add these strings. So could I do something like this? Could I say new string is going to equal the string of hi, and then multiply that 10 times? My gosh, is this going to work? It will. Yeah. So pretty interesting that we could do mathematical manipulation as well of our string values in Python. Well, my goodness, we looked at a lot here. Remember, to create your strings, you're going to use the double quote or single quote approach. One nice thing is that that would accommodate using double quotes inside a string, for instance. But remember, you can always escape those values. And then we took a look at the triple indicator, if you will, to do a multi-line string. And then we also saw how we can add strings together, even implicitly add them together. And we even did a little math against our strings. Well, thank you so much for watching, and you guessed it, more with strings in the very next video.